So once you have a UI ready and you have your microflow, it's very easy to configure or to integrate your microflow with the UI. The first step in the integration is to click on the page and look at the bottom. As I said yesterday, you need to focus on the bottom. On the page level, the first step is to integrate your microflow on the page level. So you would click on the page and then on your left panel, you can select integration and data flow. You can click on this plus button. And there you have two options. Either you can integrate microflow with your UI, or shall I repeat? Okay, I will begin with benefit page again. So let me just open the page now. Okay, nothing else. Once you are on your page, I want you to look at the bottom of the page, that which element you click. Like this time I clicked on the image and it shows image at the bottom. You must select the page first in order to integrate your microflow with your UIs. So let me select the page. Once you click on the page, the left menu panel will open for you. You can click on interaction and data flow icon. And there you have a button where you can add either microflow or could add a JavaScript on your UIs. This time let me click on microflow, because since we are going to integrate microflow with our UIs. So once you click on the microflow, you have a project where you can select your microflow. Now all the projects that are under this IP would appear here. So you may need to find out your microflow that you have created on that previous session, and you select your microflow. Well, my colleague Mr. Watt had created microflow on that day, so I would select my microflow. So please you select your microflow to get the results and check that your microflow is working with your UIs. Once you click on the project, you will have all the processes that you have built under that project would appear in the list. You would have to select your process, which is benefit what in this case, and your process may not be the same, the name would not be same, as you have created your process under your project with a different name. You can select your process. So once the process is selected, you can click on the mapping. So if you do remember the previous microflow session, there we have created two business input parameters where we pass the benefit type and username, and take 5 or 4 benefit, take a data list which has 5 parameters, which is date, project description, and amount. And we can also give pass the parameters here, like we can click on the parameter and can pass the state. So the same parameters that you give in the output, you can create 2 parameters here, like first is travel. So once you give here we are fixing the default values. So I'll commit and my one value will be added. I'll create a second value. I can add parameter by clicking on this icon. Username. And once I enter the default value, I can commit. and I can have my two parameters that I would like to pass to the page state. I will map these parameters and I would save my mapping. So once the mapping is saved, you can simply close it. I would double check. It's there. The important thing to note down here is, and some of the people I saw that they are saying that, oh, microflow is not come up, did not show up, but at the second go, it did show up because they clicked it. So once you are going to integrate your microflow with your UIs, you must need to focus that what kind of event you want to call your microflow. It can be load event, it can be click event. In this case, it's selected click. So unless you click on your element, you would call a microflow. So now you want your microflow to appear on while loading up the page. So you may need to change from click to loud. So I simply change click to loud. So it will load up the microflow once the page gets loaded up. So once you save your microflow, it starts to highlight in the action list. So everyone can do that. Is there any obstacle you're facing? So now our microflow is being integrated with our UI. Inside microflow mapping, you have to create two parameters. Parameters can easily be created by clicking on this icon. Once you click on this icon, the parameter will appear. In case you have commit or did some mistake while creating your parameter, like you had mentioned some double quotes or spaces, you have an option to edit. You can click on it and you can edit. Make sure you give single quotes here. The double quotes may not produce the desired results. So once you give the default value, you can simply commit and it would save. Is it okay? So now, as all of you can see that we have a microflow integrated with our page, the second step is to select the card, because I would like to populate why we are doing this microflow thing. Because these values that we did make static in the beginning, right? We don't want these values to be like this, and we don't want you to come up every day and change it on the daily basis. It's like when user will enter these values and the values will get saved in the database, microflow would help you to populate those values from the database and produce the results on your UIs. So I would make it a bit larger. So we can integrate our microflow inputs, the columns that we have in the database, to each and every column that we have been designed here. So the second step is to click on the card. So once you click on the card, we have been played or hands-on. You guys have hands-on on each and every icon here. The last two icons are still left. So there is an icon which shows like a database icon. Seems like it. So you can click on this. It says connect to data. You can click on this icon, and once you click on this icon, you can click on list data and connect to data. And once you click on connect to data, you will see your BO out that you have created inside your microflow. So you simply can select it and connect. So once you select and connect, it starts to appear a small window which will show you your configuration settings. So in case you have done some mistake, you can find out which store you have been selected, which flow you have been selected, and the path. So you can, at any point of time, if you feel that you have done the configuration wrong, you can simply remove it here you have an option to remove it, and you can do the configuration again. So since this setting has been saved, I will simply close it. I can recheck it. Okay, it's still there. Now I had a microflow out parameters integrated on this card. Now I can click on each element, and I can click on the same database icon, which helps me to connect to data, and I can click on connect to data. So once you click on connect to data, you must click on inherit, where you will see all your output parameters that you are retrieving from the database. So these are actually the column values that are in the database, and you design a microflow that is giving you an output, and integrating that microflow on your UIs will help you to populate these columns on your UIs. Are we all set? Now, if we look at the first column, it says date. So let me map date with the date column. So I would simply click on date, and I will connect. Similarly, here also you can see the small pop-up window which shows your configuration. You can always